What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex and you're watching The Road to Beast Wars. This is just a web series. We're talking about the production of Transformers Rise of the Beasts. This is episode number 48, and in this episode, I want to do a comparison between the two deluxes of Airrazor. And now, if you didn't already know, apparently there are two toy lines. There is the Rise of the Beasts main line and the Studio Series line, which has been a long-running line for a couple of years now. And I think it's a great line because it is a line that covers all the movies, from the very first Transformers film to Bumblebee, all the way to the latest film, Transformers Rise of the Beasts. But apparently Rise of the Beasts has their own line, and basically we're doubling up on Maximals so far, because we've only seen images of Cheetor and Airrazor for the Rise of the Beast main line, but then we're seeing a lot of official images for the Studio Series, which of course includes Cheetor and Airrazor, which I've talked about recently. So I just want to do a side-by-side comparison using images that have been shown so far. I don't now, of course, have the products with me. That'll be much later on, but in any case, I want to do a side-by-side comparison talking about the differences between the two Airrazors. So let's just go ahead and let's just put them side by side. We have Airrazor, the Studio Series, and of course the Deluxe from the main line. They're both Deluxe classes, and right away you can see a huge difference. Now, I can't tell size-wise because I don't have them physically, in front of me, but just judging from the amount of detail, it looks like the Studio Series is slightly taller than the mainline Deluxe, and it feels a little bit it feels that way just because there's so much detail on the actual robot. Now the thing is that without having an actual side-by-side comparison with the physical toy, we won't actually know. But just looking at what is being offered here right now, it actually looks like Airrazor from the Studio Series feels more like a Deluxe. I mean, sorry, excuse me, feels more like a Voyager class. That's what I meant to say. And it would be very cool if it was a Voyager class. In any case, let's take a look at the robot modes. They both look good, actually. I'll be completely honest. They both look good, but if I had to lean towards the other one, one or the other, I'd have to lean towards the Studio Series because there's so much more detail on it. I mean, look at it. It has way more detail. It's got more mass to it because of how much detail is on it. It just looks like a busier Transformer, whereas you can tell from the mainline Deluxe, it just looks a lot more simple. It's got it looks like it has a more simplified transformation, and you can tell right away just by looking at various parts of the figure itself, like the arms, the legs, the chest area. Yeah, it doesn't look as complex as when compared to the Studio Series. But I do like the head more on the Studio Series. The one on the Deluxe, it just looks more sharp and less detail. But overall, the Deluxe on the main line, it just looks very not just simple, but it looks very thin. You know what I'm saying? It just looks like it has a lot less mass to him, and it looks like it's on a diet or something. And the other one, the Studio Series one, looks like it worked out. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely quite a huge difference. And still to this date, I really don't know why they even have two lines. But once we look at the alt modes, rather the beast modes, rather, that will tell you why I'd want to pick one over the other. So let's take a look at the beast modes. So Airrazor is a Falcon, and I'll tell you straight up, I like the mainline Deluxe more, and it has to do with proportions. So I like the robot mode of the Studio Series, but I like the alt mode of the main line. And the reason why is because the proportions look more accurate to an actual Falcon. If you look at the Deluxe of the Studio Series in Beast mode, it looks like I don't know if you all guys know what this is, but it looks like a gearwalk. And what that is if you look at Robotech or Macross, basically you have like it's like in half jet mode and half robot mode. You have a bunch of legs that are robot legs sticking out of a jet. So it looks like the Falcon, or in the Beast mode for the Studio Series, it looks like it's on Gearwalk mode because you have like such long legs on this Falcon, whereas the legs on the mainline look a bit more they look more proportional. At least they look like more tucked in, and they're smaller, so it looks much better that way. Now, the Studio Series is a good-looking Falcon. It's just that those legs are just a bit much, and they definitely needed to do something with it. They didn't know how to hide it. They couldn't find a way to tuck them in. But in any case, it just looks like, oh, we have a Falcon here on the top half, but then we have robot legs sticking out on the bottom half. So that's what I'm trying to get at. So I do like the robot mode of the Studio Series, but I like the Beast mode of the mainline Deluxe. So that's my comparison. And plus, it just looks like I mean, overall as a whole, the mainline Deluxe just looks like a better looking Falcon, and I don't mind that it looks like a little bit smaller. It does look a bit smaller for sure. I don't mind that at all. It just looks more like an actual Falcon. Like, it looks just more beast accurate, if you will. All right, so there you have it. I'm really curious to know what the packaging on the mainline is going to look like, because we've had the Studio Series for such a long time. Heck, even Bumblebee from 2018 didn't have its own mainline. It has its Studio Series. So, and another thing that I'm wondering is the mainline only going to consist of the beasts? Right? It just boggles me as to why they even have two lines, but are they just going to have beasts? Because so far we've only seen Cheetor and Airrazor. We haven't seen like alternate versions of the Autobots or Terracons. So far it's just the beasts. So now I'm wondering what Optimus Primal is going to look like, and Rhinox in the main line. That's going to be very interesting. Anyways, that's all I got to say in this episode. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Which one do you like better? The Studio Series or the mainline Deluxe? Let me know in the comments. And my name is Alex. I'll see you next time. Peace.